Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. So the Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the New England Patriots 21-14. And I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers played a fantastic game at all. Now, I know a win is a win, and I'll take it. I'll definitely take this over a loss. But I did not like what I saw from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, I know that they're playing other professional athletes, and again, a win is a win, and I'll take it. But was one of the worst football games that I've probably ever seen in my life. And every time I see a game like this, I can only think about the new rules where teams are only allowed to practice 2 hours a day during training camp, and there's no more two-a-days, and you get sloppy, undisciplined, uninspired football. And when I watched the game, that's what I saw all day today. I really believe that it's time. I really believe that Coach Tomlin is on the edge of the cliff to be fired. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers season eventually goes down the dumps, it's time to go in a different direction. I didn't like what I saw at all today. Let's start with the good. On offense, Aaron Rodgers was 16 for 23 for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Average numbers, but he made the throws when he needed to make them. He threw the touchdowns when he needed to. And I'm just going to leave it at that with Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, you want to do better than 139 yards, but a win is a win, and you threw what you threw, and that is that. Jaylen Warren, I like how the Pittsburgh Steelers were committed to getting him the football today. He had 18 carries for 47 yards. I mean, he's not even averaging 2.3 yards a carry. How do you miss Najee Harris yet? Now, I do believe that Jaylen Warren is more explosive than Najee. And I do believe that he wasn't given the opportunities last year to prove he could be that guy. But Najee Harris, every single year for 4 years, he gained 1,000 yards and he averaged 4 yards a carry, no matter how bad the line was, no matter how bad the quarterback was, no matter how bad the team was. Najee Harris was a very productive player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to leave it at that about Najee. Also, in the passing game, Jaylen Warren had 5 receptions for 34 yards. So the Pittsburgh Steelers made sure Jaylen Warren touched the ball 23 times today. So I'm not going to complain about that. Calvin Austin III, 3 receptions, 34 yards, and a touchdown on 5 targets. Jaylen Warren, 5 receptions, 34 yards on 6 targets. DK Metcalf, 3 for 32 and 1 touchdown. These DK numbers have to improve greatly. We did not pay him all this money to come here and only have 3 receptions every week for 30, 40 yards. These are not the kind of games that I was looking forward to. I'm looking forward to 7 receptions, 140 yards, and a touchdown or 2. And it could just be me, but I really do not feel that the Pittsburgh Steelers are creative enough in trying in ways to get the receivers open. These are not good numbers for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jono Smith, 3 catches for 23 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 1 for 10. And Pat Freiermuth, again, 1 reception for 6 yards. The Pittsburgh Steelers are paying Pat Freiermuth the type of money to play like Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski. They're paying Pat Freiermuth a lot of money. And he has not played good football in a very, very long time. Also, I don't know what it is on 4th down. The Pittsburgh Steelers cannot make a play. Cole Holcomb has the back in the backfield on 4th down for a loss. Completely misses them. The back ends up picking up the 1st down, gets quite a number of yards on the play. Somebody else did it later on in the game. We have the stop. Totally misses the tackle. I can't remember who it is right now off the top of my head. I got to think. But the number of missed tackles when a receiver or running back has the ball, the first defender for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the first defender up, from my point of view, from my perspective, usually misses a tackle. Now, I got to look at the all 22 film tomorrow and go over that again. But it seems like to me, the Pittsburgh Steelers are absolutely atrocious in tackling, especially when it's on 4th down and they shoot a gap or they have the back a receiver in the backfield for a loss, and then the back makes a move and the tackler falls down and they pick up the first down. Now, I know at the end of the game that wasn't the case, but all game long leading up to that, the Pittsburgh Steelers did not make the play. They didn't. They missed the tackle. They whiffed. Darius Slay had a fumble recovery. TJ Watt had a fumble recovery. Jabril Peppers had a fumble recovery. Peyton Wilson had a fumble recovery. The Pittsburgh Steelers today forced 4 fumbles. Now on defense, let's start with the good. Cam Hayward, 6 total tackles, 3 solo, 1 sack. Cam Hayward was responsible for an interception in the end zone because he got his big paw on the ball. Then a fumble recovery by Peyton Wilson in the end zone. Cam Hayward once again hits the ball carrier and causes the fumble. You know, I was ripping Cam for a while because he wanted that raise, but Cam Hayward can play football. He's an excellent football player, and he's still making plays at the biggest times in the biggest games. Now, this week, the pressure was a lot better by the Pittsburgh Steelers. In total, we had Cam Hayward had a sack, TJ Watt had 2 sacks, Derek Harmon had a sack, Nick Herbig had a sack, for a total of 5 sacks. But also on the first down today, it seemed like the Pittsburgh Steelers were horrible. It seemed like the New England Patriots were getting 7, 8, 9 yards every first down. And then later on, they would eventually break down and either turn the ball over or the Pittsburgh Steelers would get a sack. Robert Spillane picked off Aaron Rodgers, had an interception, returned to 37 yards. Look, I am not here to cover the New England Patriots by any stretch of the imagination, but Drake Maye was 28 for 37, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. As a team, the Patriots rushed the ball for 119 yards. There you go again. Gave up 119 yards rushing the ball. I mean, are the Pittsburgh Steelers this year one time going to hold a team to under 100 yards rushing? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it at all. With 5 turnovers in a game and 5 sacks by the Pittsburgh Steelers only scored 21 points against the Patriots. I'm sorry. This win does not make me feel any confident going forward at all. You know, a team that's clicking on all cylinders would literally put up almost 50 points against the Patriots today. And I think the Patriots roster is an inferior roster. I don't think they're a good football team by any stretch of the imagination. I just have to call it like I see it. The Pittsburgh Steelers still cannot run the football. Still cannot run the football. A team total of 64 yards. Jaylen Warren, 18 carries, 47 yards, long 11. Now, I love the way Jaylen Warren ran the football today. Tough. And I like that the Steelers stuck to the run no matter what. Kenneth Gainwell, 4 carries for 16 yards, 1 touchdown, a long run of 13 yards. Aaron Rodgers. But as a team, the Pittsburgh Steelers only rushed the ball for 64 yards. The Pittsburgh Steelers only threw for 139 yards. This was in no stretch of the imagination an offensive juggernaut or a wonderful offensive performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, their defense came through. That's what we're known for, our defense coming through. But our offense needs to play. Our offensive line today got pushed around all day. We cannot run the football. I can't say it anymore. I mean, what are you going to do? We wasted first-round draft picks, high-round picks on offensive linemen. They're not panning out. What can you do? You got to just roll through the season. You got to play the game still. But we do not look good. The Pittsburgh Steelers, it didn't look good today. This was a sloppy football game. Hunter Henry had a great day against the Steelers. 8 catches, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. And you think to yourself, like, he ate the Pittsburgh Steelers alive. Nobody else really did anything. It was Hunter Henry, a tight end. A tight end in his 10th year. Now, he was a very productive player his whole time in San Diego. Great player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's 30 years old in his 10th year. He ate the Steelers alive. You think you'd say to yourself, hey, we got to cover this guy because nobody else is doing anything. Nobody else on the New England Patriots today did anything. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. And Hunter Henry's just running free. It's just like, wow. Wow. All I keep thinking about is the Ravens. You're like, oh, one game at a time. It's a process. And yeah, it is a process. And you hope the team gets better as they keep practicing together. But all I keep thinking about is the Baltimore Ravens game. And I'm like terrified. I'm like, wow, we're going to get tore up. If we play like this against the Ravens, they're going to blow us out of the building. Literally, it'd be 60-3. We need to improve. We need to get better. I said this all along. I think the trip to Ireland is going to be an effing disaster. I think we lose the game. So let's say we go 2-2. Then we go to the Browns. We should be 3-2. We should be in a great position. Hey, if we go to Ireland and we win, fantastic. I'm happy. But I don't anticipate that. I anticipate a loss because that's just how we play. Following week we go to Cleveland. If we can go 3-2, I'll be happy. We're in good position. It's a good position after 5 weeks of football. But I'm be completely. I did not like what I saw today at all from the Pittsburgh Steelers. This offensive line is not improving. They gave Aaron Rodgers time, but we need to run the football. A team total of 64 yards. Aaron Rodgers only threw for 139. He was under pressure. He got hit a few times. He was sacked. Let me tell you how many times he was sacked today. You know what? He wasn't sacked at all today. He was just running around. Tackles for losses, though. The New England Patriots had 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. The New England Patriots had 6 tackles for a loss, and those came in the run game. It's not a good sign. We need to get better. The Pittsburgh Steelers need to get better. And a win is a win, so I'm happy with this win. But things need to change. A lot of things need to change. So it was not a good performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, let's get ready for our Ireland trip next week. Let's prepare for the best. Let's practice like our life depends on it. Let's get better as a team, as a fan base, as an announcer, as a YouTuber. We all need to get better. And I'm going to end it with that. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.